Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. This week, Formula One teams unveiled their cars for the 2025 season in a grand event at the O2 Arena in London, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the sport. The showcase brought a variety of new color schemes, but the car that stole the spotlight in terms of visual impact was undoubtedly the VCB-02 from Racing Bulls. The team abandoned its traditional blue livery in favor of a striking white design, earning widespread praise from fans. Many are already calling it the most visually stunning car on the grid this year. What do you think? Do you agree that Racing Bulls has delivered the best-looking car of the season? Let us know in the comments. Following the unveiling, the team wasted no time and immediately traveled to Italy for on-track action. The very next day, on Wednesday, the new car hit the asphalt for a shakedown session at the Imola circuit. This session allowed both of the team's drivers to get their first real feel for the car, testing its reliability and ensuring that all components functioned as expected. As has become tradition for the team, Imola was once again chosen as the venue for these initial runs. Alongside the VCB-02, the team also brought the AlphaTauri at 04, which was driven by Red Bull Junior driver Arvid Lindblad. This provided the young talent with a valuable opportunity to gain experience behind the wheel of a Formula One car. During the first part of the shakedown, Yuki Tsunoda took the lead, being the first to take the VCB-02 onto the track. His initial lap was purely for system checks, ensuring that everything was operating correctly. After a brief return to the garage for adjustments, Tsunoda went back out, this time accompanied by a camera car capturing footage that will be used in the team's promotional material throughout the season. Multiple laps were completed under controlled conditions before he was finally allowed to push the car to its limits. Despite being cautious, since his teammate would also be driving in the afternoon, Tsunoda managed to gather valuable data and complete a significant number of kilometers without any setbacks. In the afternoon session, it was time for his teammate, Isack Hadjar, to take over. With around 100 kilometers remaining in the allotted distance for the shakedown, Hadjar gradually increased his pace. At first, he focused on system checks and low-speed runs before transitioning into high-speed filming laps. Once those were completed, he was finally given the green light to push harder, and his performance impressed many. His lap times were competitive with Tsunoda's, and despite being a rookie, he made very few mistakes, especially considering Imola's notoriously difficult layout. The most notable aspect of Hadjar's test was his consistency in race simulations, where he repeatedly set near-identical lap times, a crucial trait for long-distance race performance. By the end of the day, both drivers had successfully completed the 200-kilometer shakedown without any mechanical failures, a promising sign for the team. Looking at the car itself, the Racing Bulls design takes clear inspiration from previous Red Bull models, particularly from the 2022 and 2023 seasons. The team has strategically integrated design elements and even some components from older Red Bull cars, aiming to build a stable and competitive package. Their goal is to establish themselves as more than just Red Bull's junior team, transitioning into a midfield contender capable of fighting for points and potentially podiums in the near future. One of the VCB-02's standout strengths appears to be its low tire degradation, which will be a key asset over race distances. Additionally, it has demonstrated impressive stability in high-speed corners and straights, showing promising speed potential. However, early feedback suggests that improvements are still needed in slow, technical sections, a challenge that has historically affected Red Bull's previous models as well. Overall, the shakedown was a positive start, and initial impressions indicate that Racing Bulls may have developed a highly competitive car for 2025. But the ultimate test awaits in next week's official preseason testing. What do you think? Will Racing Bulls be more competitive this season, or will they still struggle at the back of the grid? Share your thoughts as we await the next chapter in this exciting F1 season. We bring you all the details about the changes made to Ferrari's new car for the 2025 season. The team has promised numerous updates, and with the real car hitting the track on Wednesday, we have already seen many of the improvements in action. One particular upgrade is expected to significantly transform this car. But before diving into all the specifics, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new videos with the latest Formula One updates. And if you enjoy informative content like this, leave a like to support our work. On Tuesday, Formula One hosted the F175 event in London, where all teams on the grid presented the liveries of their new cars. Among them, Ferrari's SF25 stood out as one of the most talked about cars, largely due to Lewis Hamilton joining the team this season. However, the excitement also stems from Ferrari's bold promises, as they have pledged a car that is completely different from its 2024 predecessor, embracing a fresh concept for the final year of the current ground effect regulations. Just a day after the unveiling event, we saw the SF25 in action as Ferrari took it to the Fiorano circuit for a shakedown. This session allowed Hamilton and Leclerc their first opportunity to get behind the wheel and assess the car's initial performance. Naturally, photographers were on site to capture every detail of the new car, and one of the most significant changes observed was in the front suspension. In past seasons, Ferrari used a pushrod front suspension, which, based on the experience of other teams, was not the best choice for ground effect cars. However, under the guidance of former Mercedes engineer Loic Serra, Ferrari has now switched to a pull rod suspension system. This adjustment alters both the mechanical and aerodynamic behavior of the car, improving airflow to the side pods and floor while also addressing stability issues under acceleration and braking. This suspension change has unlocked additional developments that were previously limited by the pushrod setup. Serra has confirmed that both aerodynamic and mechanical aspects of the car have significantly improved since this decision was made. Moving to the side pods, Ferrari introduced a visibly different design with much larger air intakes. This suggests that improving engine cooling is a key priority for the team this season. Given the extended calendar, managing engine wear will be crucial. If the team exceeds the permitted number of power units, they will face grid penalties, making efficient cooling a strategic advantage. The floor of the SF25 also features modifications, particularly in the Venturi tunnels, which are critical for generating downforce. The updated layout enhances aerodynamic balance, manages airflow pressure more effectively, and mitigates issues like porpoising while also reducing tire degradation. At the rear, Ferrari has introduced new cooling outlets above the engine cover, increasing airflow efficiency. This prevents overheating while ensuring aerodynamics remain uncompromised. Another change is on the upper side pods, where Ferrari revived a design from 2022, directing more airflow toward the central rear section of the car, enhancing the beam wing and diffuser's performance at high speeds. In summary, Ferrari has delivered a significantly reworked car, incorporating both their past ideas and successful design elements from rival teams. The SF25 has been refined across all areas, maintaining the strengths of the 2024 car while extracting additional performance where possible. While we will need to see how the SF25 performs against its competitors, early estimates suggest it could be around 0.4 of a second faster per lap than its predecessor. This would keep Ferrari in contention for victories and potentially the championship. With all this information in mind, what do you think about Ferrari's new car? Do you believe it will be a success, or should they have taken a more conservative approach? Share your thoughts as we continue to analyze the build-up to the new season. During the Grand Car launch event held this week in London, several moments caught the audience's attention, with loud boos echoing throughout the arena. The main targets of these reactions were Red Bull team principal Christian Horner, reigning world champion Max Verstappen, and, most notably, the FIA. As Horner stepped onto the stage to present Red Bull's new car, he was met with a wave of boos from the crowd. The tension in the arena was palpable, making it clear that a significant portion of the audience was displeased with his presence. When Verstappen appeared on the big screens, he also received some backlash. However, his dedicated fanbase quickly countered with loud cheers, managing to drown out a portion of the criticism directed at him. The FIA, however, faced the harshest reception of the night, with an overwhelming number of jeers erupting when the governing body was mentioned, underscoring the widespread frustration within the Formula One community. Regarding Horner, multiple sources present at the event indicated that the hostility stemmed from the recent controversies surrounding the Red Bull team principal. Earlier in 2024, he was accused of inappropriate conduct toward a team employee, a situation that sparked heated debates and intense media scrutiny. Given the high-profile nature of these allegations, the reaction from the crowd was somewhat expected. However, what surprised many was Red Bull's decision to allow Horner to take the stage alone at the very beginning of their presentation, effectively putting him in a vulnerable position in front of a highly charged audience. Attempting to navigate the tense atmosphere, Horner redirected the conversation to focus on Red Bull's new car, emphasizing its innovative design and performance expectations for the upcoming season. Despite his efforts, the uneasy reception persisted, serving as a stark reminder that the controversy surrounding him remains unresolved in the public eye. The mixed reactions at the event reflect a broader sentiment within the Formula One fanbase. While some believe the boos were justified due to the lingering questions about Horner's conduct and general dissatisfaction with the FIA's management of the sport, others argue that such behavior was inappropriate for an event meant to celebrate the new season and the advancements in technology and competition. These public reactions raise an interesting question about the relationship between Formula One teams, their leadership, and the fans. With the sport becoming increasingly global and social issues playing a more significant role in public discourse, figures like Horner are finding themselves under much greater scrutiny. Likewise, Verstappen's reception, though divided, highlights the contrasting opinions about his dominance in the sport and the way he is perceived by different sections of the fanbase. The FIA, meanwhile, continues to face backlash for various controversial decisions made in recent seasons, from inconsistent race rulings to governance issues that many fans feel have negatively impacted the integrity of the sport. The loud jeers directed at the organization suggest that trust between fans and the sport's governing body is at an all-time low, and Formula One leadership may need to take significant steps to address these concerns. As we head into the new season, it remains to be seen how these tensions will unfold both on and off the track. Will Red Bull's leadership be able to move past the controversies and keep their focus on maintaining their dominance? Will the FIA take steps to regain the trust of the fanbase? And will Verstappen's performance on track continue to divide opinions? What do you think about these reactions? Were the boos justified given the ongoing controversies? Or do you think they were misplaced at an event meant to spotlight the upcoming season? Share your thoughts on how these dynamics might shape the narrative of Formula One in 2025.